Hello, I'm Lost and welcome to our sanctuary. Today we are trying out a demo called. Oh, that was twice. Today we're trying out a demo called Strawberry Vinegar. Oh, loud music. Might turn that down a bit, that caught me off guard. This is another demo that is. Oh boy, a text adventure. There we go. Actually, while I'm at it. Wait, I don't know, I can, there we go. We'll move the SFX down as well. Already read, sure. Transitions, stop skipping. What does text start box style mean? I don't know. Alright, can we save? Or does it just save it automatically? Alright, well, new game. The art style looks very interesting. Like it's like an oil sort. Feed me or I'll reap your soul. After hearing those ridiculous words, my whole life was turned upside down. That is not the type of game I thought this was. Day 1, Monday. That's your dad? Are you sure? Okay. Pink hair. Odd. Hey there, Rye. Or Ree. Ree? Hey there, Ree. How are you feeling on this beautiful sunny day? I feel fine, thank you. I stifle a yawn with one hand as I slip into my seat at the kitchen table. I'm a responsible girl, so I always wake up early in the morning, but that doesn't mean I like doing it. In fact, I hate it. The hair's getting to me. The pink hair, it looks so weird. And the apron looks so weird. But the pink hair most of all looks weird. The sunlight hurts my eyes. I'm forced to turn my head away from the open window and towards the wooden tabletop. I always thought this wooden table clashed with the meticulously white, incredibly Western decor of our kitchen, but I've gotten used to it over the years. I think this table used to belong to Grandma Nozomi, so Dad would never throw it away. It's a precious keepsake of his mother. Not that she's dead or anything, she's just been refurbishing her house and she's got rid of some of her old furniture. Okay. I bet other people would find my kitchen weird. Not just my kitchen, but my whole house, which is distinctly non-Japanese. But that doesn't bother me. It's not like I ever invite anybody over. Who the hell is that? That's your mum? Okay. Mum sits at the table, one leg crossed over the other, reading the newspaper. Dad is busy serving breakfast, white rice, pickled cucumbers, and miso soup. Dad's a pretty good cook, so he makes most of the meals at home. He has a whole drawer full of aprons to pick and choose from. And his greatest pleasure in life seems to be selecting which one to wear each morning. So that's his apron. Huh. Huh. Mum, by contrast, doesn't like cooking that much. Her fingernails are long and carefully filed, and she hates it when they splinter or get dirty. Okay, interesting. Mum is a popular actress, and she cares a lot about her appearance, You might have heard of her. Her name is Shirakawa Yukini. Hmm. Mum and Dad are pretty dissimilar. Oh yeah, I'd say. But they get along well enough. I don't think I've ever heard them argue before. I'm glad to know you're feeling alright, Rai. Or Ree. Ree? I still haven't decided. And you'll feel better, even better after you try this. Ooh. Breakfast looked good, just like always. The fluffy white rice is perfectly cooked. The pickled cucumbers have been cut into precise coin-sized shapes, and they've been glazed with vinegar so they seem to shimmer. Yikes. The miso soup is light brown, neither too thick or too thin. It's been bulked up with white cubes of silken tofu and diced spring onions. The onions float lazily on the surface of the soup, while the heavier tofu sinks to the bottom, absorbing the flavor of the fish stock and soybeans. I pick up my chopsticks and bow my head. Thank you for the food. Aha, there's no need to thank me, Ree. I'd do anything for you. I don't doubt it. Dad likes cooking for me. He doesn't have anyone else to pamper, since Mum's always dieting. You can't cook food for people who are dieting? I'm glad Dad likes looking after me, but the look of expectation on his face as I bring my chopsticks to my mouth is kind of disconcerting. Yeah! He's so obsessed with watching me eat that he hasn't touched his own food at all. If I told him I didn't like his food, I think he'd cry. That's a lot of responsibility to place on the shoulders of a elementary schooler, don't you think? The food does look good. I don't like vinegar, but the food does look good. Fortunately, the food tastes as good as it looks. The pickled cucumbers crunch satisfyingly when I bite into them, and their coolness contrasts nicely with the warm miso soup. So what do you think? Do you like it? It's good. Thank goodness. I wasn't too sure about the pickled cucumbers. I usually let them sit in the fridge a little longer. I thought the vinegar might have been too overpowering. No, it's nice. It goes well with the rice. It creates a good contrast, I suppose. That's exactly what I was going for. Thank you, E. Dad reaches across the table to ruffle the top of my head. He's a little over-enthusiastic with his show of affection, actually, and he almost knocks over Mum's cup of green tea. Careful, dear. Ah, sorry. I'm sorry, Yuki. It's alright. Just try to be a little more attentive next time. And if you're really interested, Dad's name is Sakuraba Kazuki. Unlike Mum, you've probably never heard of him. There's a reason why Mum and Dad don't have the same family name, but that's not important. Well, I mean, it is if you bring it up. Alright. I'll accept. You should try to remember that some of us have filming to do later today. I don't want to turn up with tea all over my new dress. It costs quite a bit, you know. Satu, that grumpy old nag, would have my head if I dared arrive looking less than perfect. I'm sorry. I know how hard you've been working. I don't want to make things more difficult for you. So, did you read anything interesting in the paper? Nothing terribly exciting. Things have been so dull lately. Isn't that a good thing? I prefer it when things are quiet and calm. Well, you may have a point. I was hoping for more bloody murders, though. Hmm, let's not talk about murder at the breakfast table, especially around Ree. You'll upset her. I think Ree is old enough to understand the finite nature of human life by now. We must all shuffle off this mortal coil eventually. Maybe so, but do we need to be reminded of that right now? Perhaps not. You're right. Sorry. I've been working on this hospital drama for too long. There are only so many dying teenage girls one can handle in a day. And speaking of work, I ought to get going. I don't want to be late. Mum takes one last sip of her tea, then sets the cup down on the table with a small thud. The life of an actress must be pretty hectic. She's always in a hurry, and she hardly ever seems to have any free time. I wonder if Dad misses her. Were his lips always like that? Or is he miserable and that's why his face changed? I don't know. If he does, he doesn't say it. He's always been unfailingly supportive of Mum and her endeavours. Oh, okay, his face has gone back to normal. Have a good day, Yuki. Take care of yourself. I will, dear. Mum blows a kiss at Dad and then pauses by my chair for a few moments. And why? I did read something in the paper I thought you might like to hear. What? It said this week should be particularly eventful for you Virgos. Virgos? Virgos. Hmm. Apparently you will encounter new friends and have many new experiences and face a series of great challenges. Doesn't that sound exciting? I guess. Well, I suppose it would be good news if horoscopes were any accurate measure of the world around us. They're always so vague and unfixed. Only superstitious fools set much store in them. Hmm. But you read them in the newspaper every week. That's because they're romantic. I don't believe in them, but it's nice to imagine that the stars really can determine our fates. I don't get it. It's fine, you don't need to. I was just being silly. Mum winks. I bet all the boys in my class would love it if she winks like that at them. I think they all have a crush on her. Have crushes on her? That's a weird way to say it. Even some of my teachers have a crush on her. Huh, that's awkward. I just thought I should warn you. If horoscopes are at all accurate, you might be in for quite an interesting week. Mum exits the kitchen with a small laugh. She waves at us over her shoulder, but she doesn't turn around. She's far too cool for that. Or self-absorbed. But, I know Dad certainly thinks so. Even after all these years, Yuki is still so mysterious. She's so cool. Dude, how could she be mysterious to you? She's very understandable. Is she sleeping around? I wouldn't be surprised. See, I told you so. Unlike Mum, Dad is really predictable. I can always preempt what he's going to say. Really? Because your mum seems predictable too. I rise from my seat and walk over to the fridge. I feel like having a glass of milk, though it doesn't go well with miso soup. Milk is nice and refreshing, and it helps keep the bones strong. But the milk that should be there is not. It's vanished. We can't have drunk it that quickly, though. There was a full carton of it yesterday. Was this the work of a thief, a poltergeist, or else. Dad, were you giving our milk away to the neighborhood cats again? Sorry. So you caught me out, huh? Totally predictable. Like I said. I'm sorry, Ree. I'll buy you some milk from the store later, if you want any. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'll get some myself on the way back from school. But, since I'm the one who gave all the milk away, I should be the one to buy more, shouldn't I? Don't worry about it. I meant to buy some things from the convenience store anyway. This will give me an excuse to finally do it. Ah, I see. How clever. Not really. Anyway, I'm heading out now. This Monday morning really is the same as the last Monday morning, and the one before that, and the one before that. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened, and it would probably stay that way. Horoscopes. What a load of nonsense. School is dull, just as always. I try to focus, but it's a sunny day, and the characters in my textbook start blurring together. I rub my eyes with the back of my arm, but it makes no difference. What's wrong with me today? Windows seats like mine are regarded with great jealousy by my fellow classmates, but I hate sitting here. These seats are too good if you want to waste your education staring into the sky, trying to look mysterious, but they're not so good if you actually want to take notes. When lunch, wait, pause. None of this makes sense. If you don't like the seat so much and everyone loves it, why not request a change? So somebody would gladly take your seat. But anyway, when lunchtime rolls around, I end up sitting alone, as per usual. I think that's because you spend a lot of time in your head. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean you kind of tend not to be aware of your surroundings by being aware of your surroundings, if that makes sense. Because you're aware of everything that's going on around you, but then you don't make yourself acceptable for interaction. And even if somebody wanted to interact with you, you spend more time thinking about the fact that they probably want to interact with you without actually interacting with them. So, yeah, I can relate. When lunchtime rolls around, I end up sitting alone, as per usual. The room fills with chatter, but I don't say a word. My lips remain clamped together. I only open them so I can eat my lunch. It's not like I'm lonely or anything, though, so please don't misunderstand. I'm not being bullied at either. I could go and talk to people if I wanted to. I just don't. I like being on my own. Yeah, we'll take your word for it. My mother's pretty famous, so I get asked questions about her a lot. It's always, your mother's so pretty, Ree? Or, could your mother introduce me to Yamada, Ree? Or, just how rich is your mother anyway, Ree? Yeah, see, it's not that you don't want friends, it's that you want friends that don't care about your mother. Hard when you have a famous parent. It's never, how are you today, Ree? Or, could you help me with my homework, Ree? You want people to ask you that? Huh. Or, did you catch that TV show that was on yesterday evening, Ree? Would you have even caught it? Nobody asks me about me. That's probably because they're not interested in me. I learnt that a long time ago. Okay, so she's wrong about a couple things. No, she's not being bullied, but in a way, the attention that's going to her mum is affecting her, similar to a way being bullied would affect her, because she's essentially feeling uncomfortable with her surroundings. And she said she doesn't want friends, but really she just doesn't want friends that are obsessed with her mum. If she's wanting them to ask about her or be interested in her, then she probably does want friends. It's just she wants friends who aren't like, so, what underwear does your mum wear, Ree? Like, creepy friends, basically, who just care about her mother. But I mean, as I don't know, it's the perks of like having, or the negatives rather, of having a famous parent. But But yeah, I don't know. Kind of feel sorry for the kid. My horoscope this morning might have said something about making new friends, but I don't want any friends, new or old. In all honesty, I can't stand other people. Ah, poor kid. Ah, I think they should be finished by now. I put my pen down and get to my feet, stretching. The bones in my arms click alarmingly. I wonder if I should take this as a sign. Maybe I should drink more milk. Well, that's not my fault. I try to drink milk, but somebody keeps getting in my way. Yeah. Does Dad care about the homeless cats that stalk our streets more than he cares about me, his only daughter? I wouldn't put it past him. He goes berserk over anything small, cute, and fluffy. I mean, I'm looking at you and you fit that persona, so. Though I don't understand why he wouldn't buy extra milk if he was so obsessed with feeding the cats. It's a bit of a yikes. Well, I bought some milk on the way home from school, so I guess I can have a glass of it now, if it's still there. That wasn't the only thing I bought either. I also picked up some butter, cocoa powder, and eggs. Cake, cookies. Most people don't know this. I don't have anybody to tell, but I really like baking. It's a hobby I picked up from Dad, since he's always in the kitchen. Oh boy. I kind of I understand her personality, but I dislike when people are like, I don't want friends, and then it's like, I don't have anybody to tell about myself, and it's like, but you don't want friends, so why would you want to tell someone? You get my point. So she doesn't. I don't know. It's understandable as to why people lie to themselves. It does make life a lot easier. We all do it. It's just a little odd because she's really hammering it home, which only goes to show that we're probably going to get a friend soon. I didn't go to kindergarten when I was a kid. I stayed at home with Dad, and he looked after me. I was too small to even see over the tops of the kitchen counters back then, so Dad got me a stool to stand on. I don't need that stool anymore, but I think we still have it lying around the house somewhere. Dad isn't the most reliable of people, but he was a good teacher. Wow, you don't have a lot of good stuff to say about your dad, do you? Some might question the safety of giving a 4-year-old a sharp knife or letting her stir soup over the oven, but Dad kept a careful eye on me and I never cut or burnt myself. He taught me a lot of useful things, like how to peel potatoes, how to cut onions without crying, and how to tell when the chicken is cooked all the way through. Baking was always my favorite though. I liked sprinkling flour over the counters and rolling out dough with a wooden pin. I especially liked cutting out shapes in the dough with all the different cookie cutters Dad had stashed away in the kitchen cupboards. It used to feel rewarding when the cookies or pies or pastries that Dad and I made came out of the oven, piping hot, ready to be eaten. Doesn't feel rewarding anymore? I still enjoy baking now. That's what I was doing earlier, before I made a start on my homework. I saw these cute cookies on a TV show that looked like little chessboards, set with alternating black and white squares. As soon as I saw them, I knew I had to try making them. The sweet smell of warm dough that drifts from downstairs is delicious. It's almost like it's calling out to me. I hum to myself. In higher spirits than usual, as I head downstairs, I wonder what I should eat my cookies with. Milk? Milk is always a good choice. Warm cookies, fresh out of the oven, so hot they scald the fingertips, are even more delicious when paired with a cool, refreshing milk. Ah, but maybe I could try coffee instead. The bitterness of coffee beans mixed with the sweetness of the cookies would create a great contrast. Then again, hot chocolate might be nice too. There are so many options it's hard to pick just one. But when I open the kitchen door, hmm, I see something, or someone rather, who definitely shouldn't be there, and has horns and red hair, or red eyes rather. It's a girl. She looks about my age, maybe slightly younger. Her hair is short and blonde, curling around her face like a halo. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with such pretty hair before. Her hair isn't the only unusual thing about her, though. Far from it. Yeah, but it's the first thing you noticed. Is it just my imagination, or does she have curly horns protruding from the top of her head? Yes, she does. And just there, peeking out from the bottom of her skirt, is that a tail? Dunno. Mmm, human food is really delicious. I look at the oven. The door is wide open and the tray of cookies that should be baking inside. It is not. Somebody must have stolen my cookies. Um, okay. With my incredible deductive skills, it doesn't take me very long to work out who the culprit is. I mean, clearly it does. I mean, it didn't take you super long, but it took you longer than it should have taken you. Hey, who are you? And what do you think you're doing in my house? Ah, the girl blinks. Her eyes are bright red, like precious jewels. Her eyelashes, however, are so pale that they're almost white. If those eyelashes weren't there to offset her burning irises, I might have frozen in the spot or turned to stone. Hmm. The girl crunches the last cookie, my cookie, between her teeth and swallows. Then she gets to her feet and stabs an accusatory finger in my direction. What are you doing here? Why is she talking like I'm the one who broke into her house? Doesn't she have any decency? Judging by her ridiculous outfit, maybe not. Wow. I mean, considering what your mum wore, I don't think you really have a leg to stand on. What do you mean, what am I doing here? What are you doing here? I came here on an important mission. To eat the cookies I just made? No, that was just collateral. What are you talking about? I'm saying you're very, very lucky. Ahem. My name is Licia Dia Ilvis. I don't know. I butchered that. I don't know. I couldn't. I'll try next time. Uh, and I am a demon from the deepest, darkest depths of hell. I was sent here to reap your soul. Hmm. Oh. Okay. Silent did descend. I stare at her. She stares back. Of all the ridiculous things, I certainly didn't expect that. My soul? That's right. However, since I'm a nice demon, I'll give you another chance to redeem yourself. I'll stay with you for a week. If you can make me something nice to eat every single day, then I'll let you live. Feed me, or I'll reap your soul. How does that sound? Is she seriously asking me that? She's asking me what I think? I unquestioningly accept everything. Well, that's definitely not my answer. Can I? I can. Just in case. What on earth are you talking about? You want to know what I think? I think if you really are a demon, you should know what I'm thinking already. Ah, you've got it all wrong. I can't read minds. That's a really high level skill. Don't you have any magical powers at all? Why don't you try showing them to me? Maybe I'll believe you then. Hmm, I'm sorry, but I'm only a young demon. I'm not very good at using magic yet. Even if I tried, I'd probably hurt you. Anyway, if you don't make me lots of delicious food, I really will reap your soul. I'm not kidding around, I'm being serious. Is my soul so cheap it's only worth a few cookies? Granted, they were pretty nice cookies, at least I assume they were since I never actually got to eat any of them, but still. I'd like to think that a genuine human soul carries a higher price than that on the black market. Otherwise, I might start questioning the worth of my own life. I mean, you're not already questioning why a demon came to reap the soul of a child? This is why I said your detective skills aren't very fast. What did you do that a demon would come after you at this age? Oh no, of course not. Human souls are precious things. That's why I'm asking you to let me stay here. If you don't want me to steal your soul, then you should try to make me lots of delicious food to balance out the books. You say that, but I think you're just being greedy. Maybe. We can't get what we want in life unless we ask for it. That's what Lu... Lucrezia? Lucrezia tells me. And she's super smart. She's made a killing on the stock market. I don't know who this Lucrezia person is, but I don't ask. I have other things on my mind. Alright, of course you know me must save. Refuse. Yeah, right. Like I'm going to let a girl who claims to be a demon stay in my house. But why not? Because I have no idea who you are. You're a complete stranger. Letting you stay here would just be asking for trouble. But I'm not a stranger. I already told you. I'm Lycia. I'm not a bad person. I promise. But you just threatened to reap my soul. Oh, yeah. I guess I did say something like that, huh? I'm not saying I actually believe you're a demon or anything, but I can't afford to take my chances. I know what happens to people who make contracts with demons. But I already said I wouldn't steal your soul if you made me food. If you refuse, you'll definitely regret it. So she is threatening me again, huh? Well, that's nothing new. Even so, I can't help but wonder, why does she look so troubled? Is it because she can't stand the thought of not getting what she wants? Or is there something more serious going on here? Did we enter into an unspoken arrangement when she ate my cookies? I didn't sign any contracts with my own blood, but maybe her saliva was enough to connect our souls together. Should I change my mind now while I still have the chance? No. No. I won't change my mind. I said I wasn't going to let you stay here with me, and I don't like going back on my word. But why? What did I do wrong? You did everything wrong. For one thing, you broke into my house. I didn't break in. This is just where interdimensional portals led me. It was a coincidence. And secondly, you ate all of my cookies and you didn't even apologize. But I couldn't help myself. They looked so yummy. And thirdly, you threatened to reap my soul. Didn't you say didn't your parents ever tell you it's wrong to reap souls indiscriminately? There has to be some kind of system. You'll never make any friends like that. Really? Why? Hmm. But I, I, the girl called Lycia sniffs. She isn't crying, is she? I relent, feeling a faint tugging at my heartstrings. Maybe I was a little too hard on her. No, I can't afford to feel any sympathy. I might have been too harsh in my scolding, but all of my points were perfectly valid, and it's not like ever threatened to reap her soul. It's a good thing I have strong nerves, or that declaration of hers might have seriously shaken me. I don't know very much about befriending people. I, um, I, I don't have many of those. Yes, and I can see why. Hey, that's really mean. You could try and be a little nicer. Maybe I would have been nicer if you extended the same courtesy to me. Unfortunately, I have no hospitality to spare for a rude, thieving, selfish little girl like you. Oh, we are pompous, aren't we? You. Licia stares at my back for a few moments, her body trembling like a newborn kitten's. Then, with a renewed burst of energy, you monster! Devil! Demon! Your cookies tasted so nice, but you're the meanest girl I've ever met. Licia pushes past me and runs right out of the kitchen. I only catch a brief glimpse of her as she runs away, but I note, with a twisting sensation in the pit of my stomach, that her eyes are filled with tears. Did I really make her cry? Oh well, it's not like any of this is my concern. Really, it isn't. This has nothing to do with me. I have no interest in this girl called Licia. All I want to do is live a normal life, and I intend to do just that. Even if it is dull, even if it is boring, even even if it is monotonous. That's just how it goes. I shift about in bed, trying to get some sleep, but to no avail. No matter how I toss and turn, I can't get comfy. I wonder what time it is. It's pitch black in here, and I can't hear any noise from the street outside. Not cars, nor conversation. I'm sure it must be past midnight. Blinking blearily, blearily, I sit up in bed, rubbing my eyes with the back of my arm. According to the clock balanced atop my bookshelf, it's just gone 3. Unfortunately, my clock is a liar. The battery in it has been dead for a while, and its hands have been frozen in that position for weeks. Didn't she say something about being a responsible girl that always gets up on time, but not responsible enough to replace the batteries in her clock for 3 weeks, or for weeks rather? I stretch and yawn. My head feels heavy, as though it's been stuffed full of newspaper, and it pounds. I can feel the blood pumping through my body, pulsing. Ever since I met her, I can't stop thinking about her. That girl. Licia. Her eyes were bright red, just like Jules. Her hair was pale blonde, like falling ash. Her skin was white and snowy. She said she was a demon from hell. I don't know if I believe her. It's true that she had horns and a tail, but there's no guarantee they were real. In fact, the more I think about, the less I'm sure, the less I am, the less sure I am about what I really saw. Maybe I was just hallucinating, but I do remember her eyes. Every time I close my own, I can see them, almost as if they've been tattooed on my eyelids. Those bright red, burning eyes. No human being could have eyes like that, even with contact lenses. It's just not possible. Does this mean that Licia really is a demon? She's a demon, and I threw her out of my home. I don't feel guilty about it. I know I was doing the right thing. Any sane person would have taken the same steps I had done if they were in my shoes. In fact, any sane person would have called the police. Telling Licia to leave really was the best choice. There was nothing else I could have done, was there? I didn't do anything bad, so why should I feel guilty? Why then am I lying awake now, unable to sleep, my thoughts looping back to Licia over and over again? My heart pounds in my chest, a series of dull thumps that sound far too loud, yet strangely lifeless. My room is too hot, it's stifling. The air feels thick, like a tangible object, something I could hold in the palm of my hands. I'm sweating. It feels like something is going to happen, but what? And just this un just as this unpleasant thought flashes across my mind, hmm, why, hello there. Don't you think the moon is particularly beautiful tonight? I see a woman sitting on my bedroom windowsill, a woman who certainly wasn't there before. The curtains, which I swear were closed, flutter around her like a shroud. The four corners of the windows frame her as though she was a figure from a watercolor painting. Her hair is long, light blonde and falls over her shoulders in waves. Her skin is milky white and glowing underneath the moonlight. She's gorgeous, but strangely ethereal in her beauty. It looks like she comes from a different world to my own. In fact, I think she does. Just like Licia, she has curly horns and a tail, and her eyes are deep, burning, bright red. I stare at her, unable to speak. In the silence, broken by the sound of wind outside, my heart continues to pound far, far too loudly. Is your name Rui? I, The direct question unsticks my throat. I try to swallow down my own anxiety, but it tastes sour on my tongue. That's right, I'm Rui. Oh, good. The woman nods her head, as though we were having a genial chat about the weather. She looks completely at her ease. She looks completely at ease, at one with the night, with the dark night and the shining moon. I'm so glad this is the right house. So many things have gone wrong tonight, I was beginning to doubt. But no matter. Her name is Aurora Superbia Ilvis. Oh, my name is... Oh, okay. My name is Aurora. I believe you met my cute little sister a few hours ago. Is that correct? I... I... That's right. Good. Now we're getting somewhere. Aurora sighs. Though her eyes are bright red, they look oddly cold, without any shred of warmth or compassion. She hates me. That much is staggeringly obvious. Well, yeah, you made her little sister cry. I simply cannot believe that a mere human like you would have the audacity to be so cruel to my poor little Licia. She was so distraught about the incident earlier. It quite broke my heart. Did you know that you made her cry? I... I didn't mean... Hush. If you didn't mean to upset her, then you wouldn't have been so cruel. Aurora flips a few strands of blonde hair behind her shoulder dismissively. Her voice is no longer light and breezy. It's just as merciless as her red eyes. I shiver. I have no concrete proof, but I'm sure this woman wields a great deal of power. Power that a mere human, as she called me, would never hope to understand. She's dangerous. Every single detail of her, from those red eyes to that bitter scowl, screams stay away from me, even more effectively than the bright red skin of the poisonous toads that live in the Amazon rainforest. This woman is being a human. This woman is a being a human like me cannot comprehend, a being that a human like me could not possibly hope to escape from. Do you know about the Owls family? We are one of the most important families to govern hell, and I will not stand for my little sister to be humiliated in such a way, especially not by a little whelp like you. I I didn't realize. Of course you didn't. You're only a stupid human. And now it's too late. My heart hammers in my chest so hard I fear it might burst. Never in all my 9 years of life did I expect something like this would happen. Who would? It is against protocol for a demon such as myself to visit humans like this, but I don't mind bending the rules for the sake of my family's honor. I'm sorry? I do not care for apologies. They are only offered as a last resort when the damage has been done, and they rarely fix anything they cannot cure. They only seek to lessen the pain of a blow that was already dealt. In that case, a verbal apology is no good. It certainly will not satisfy me. The only apology I will accept from you will be your soul. Of course it is. I should have expected as much, given this woman really is a demon. I didn't find Lycia's demands for my mortal soul too threatening, but it's different when it comes from the lips of this woman. This woman I can believe. This woman I can fear. I know that she isn't joking. She's not just trying to scare me, she's telling the truth. She really does want to reap my soul, and there's nothing I could do about it. Buy a cross. Pray. Call your dad. Do something. I have no doubts your soul will be a half-formed and immature little thing, not yet raised to its full potential, but I'll take it nevertheless. Maybe that will ease my little sister's pain, and her tears will dry, and she'll be happy again. Aurora steps down from the windowsill and crosses my bedroom with several quick steps. I can only stare at her, my eyes wide, my back pressed against the bedroom wall. There are questions I want to ask her. Of course there are, but I can't force any of them out of my throat. I can't even breathe. Dead end. Alright, well, that's a good place to stop for now. Interesting game. I find it a bit odd that they can just reap your soul at will. I also find it a bit odd that even though, yeah, she's a bit pompous, they went after a 9-year-old girl. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I said it multiple times, she is pompous, but she hasn't really done anything wrong. And telling a demon a bunch of facts and having a demon be a bit fragile about it doesn't seem as a good enough, logic to let her sort of come back. But yeah, that's going to be it for part 1. And I don't know, I might actually do about part 2 of this and see where it goes in the other alternate options. But yeah, thanks for watching.